What you are about to see is the complete and utter brain rot of the modern Republican Party on full display. I mean, it feels like it has gone so far beyond being a political party anymore. It's more like a goddamn cult of performative authoritarian freaks. They've like turned the halls of Congress into their own personal circus, and the ringleader of the clowns is, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Honestly, her behavior is, well, it's not really what you'd call a lawmaker. It's more like, I don't know, a toddler having a psychotic break on national television. One minute she's screaming about veterans to, derail actual government work. The next she's treating the speaker's gavel like it's a toy hammer or something. This is what she is saying. I'm going to play you the clip.
The gentleman yelled, no one loves
Chair.
veterans more than President Trump, and he's made that apparent. That's why he's working for peace
Madam Chair,
right
Madam-
now.
It's
Madam
not
Chair.
your time right now.
I'm the chair of this committee.
That's not how
I'm the chair-
parliamentary procedure works.
You're not
Madam
recognized,
Chairwoman.
Ms. Stanberry.
You're
not
recognized either. You can't just speak anytime you want.
I'm the
That's
chair of
not
this
how
committee.
That's not how it
Ms.
works.
Stansbury,
Madam-
you're not recognized.
Madam Chairwoman, that is not how
Ms. Stansbury, you're not recognized.
all day, but that's not how
Ms. Stansbury, you're not
parliamentarians-
recognized.
We're going to get you a Robert's
Ms.
Rules of
Stansbury,
Order
you're
and
not-
the
A
committee
point of
Ms.
order.
Stansbury,
so that
you're
you
not
can-
recognized.
so that you
Point of
can
order.
Understand parliamentary
Point-
procedure.
point of order.
Okay.
Point of order.
All right, Madam Chair, calm down. Let's move.
Did you hear that shrieking, that infantile cry of, I'm the chair of this committee? That is the raw, unfiltered ID of the MAGA movement. It's really the tantrum of a lunatic who, I guess, believes power means rules are only for other people. That pathetic outburst is sort of the core disease, but the infection, it seems like it has spread through the whole damn party. You had another one of these puppets, Republican, what was his name? Tim Burchett, right? Stand up and claim with a straight face that Trump's approval rating is soaring.
President Trump's approval rating is soaring, and last I checked, congressional approval is not. And I think that bears witness.
This guy actually believes that, or at least knows he has to pretend to, because, admitting the truth would be heresy in their psycho cult. But that was a beautiful, beautiful moment, because Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett she was not having any of it. She saw that softball of a lie and decided to hit it into the stratosphere using their own like twisted obsession with procedure. She calmly came with the receipts, ready to dismantle their entire fantasy world piece by piece. Let's play the clip, because watching her, surgically dismantle this gaslighting is just so damn satisfying.
Thank you, Chair Lady.
Madam Chair, I have a unanimous consent.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. This is just from a couple of hours ago. Trump pivots to distractions as polls show collapsing support for his agenda.
Without objection, so ordered.
The next one is Donald Trump's approval rating plunges in multiple polls.
Without objection, so
The next
ordered.
one, Donald Trump's approval rating. New polls show shakeup over Iran bombing.
Without objection, so ordered.
The next one, Trump's approval rating drops to term low amid Israel-Iran war.
Without objection, so ordered. I hope you're not reading the same thing from your phone, which it looked like. I now recognize.
clarification-
I now
You
recognize.
see the difference right there, don't you? The Republican bootlicker just spouts a feeling he probably absorbed from the Fox News bubble, offering like zero evidence. But Crockett comes armed with sources, ready to make the truth a part of the official congressional record. She didn't just expose them as liars, she also showed that they're lazy, unprepared political hacks who are, it seems, completely disconnected from reality. And she didn't stop there. She followed it up with another, a masterclass in political communication. She boiled down the entire destructive GOP platform into a simple game she called helpful or harmful. Let me tell you, this is how you do it. You don't let these gaslighters hide behind procedural nonsense and fake patriotism. You take their own stated goals and you force them to confront the real world impact in like the plainest language possible. It's a perfect way to cut through all the noise and show people what these policies actually do. Let's play the clip.
Ms. DeVito, let's go through some of the things that the Republicans have done to see if they're helpful or harmful to Americans. Helpful or harmful? Stripping healthcare away from 16 million people.
I would say harmful.
Laying off hundreds of thousands of federal workers.
Harmful.
Disrupting or delaying federal services such as Social Security.
Harmful.
Medicaid.
Harmful.
SNAP benefits.
Harmful.
Cutting billions from agencies like NIH.
Harmful.
EPA.
Harmful.
HUD.
Harmful.
FDA.
Harmful.
All right, seems like you understand the assignment.
It's just stark, isn't it? Harmful, harmful, harmful. Every single time that one-word answer is the entire story of the modern Republican Party. Every policy is, it seems, designed to inflict pain on regular people to funnel more wealth to their corporate masters. And speaking of people dedicated to harming Americans, let's talk about the snake oil salesman-in-chief, the head of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The hypocrisy of this grifter, I mean, a man who built his entire career on dangerous anti-science conspiracy theories being in charge of the nation's health, is just, it's staggering. This gets personal for me. When he stands before Congress and says he's completely committed to solving Alzheimer's, it makes my blood boil. I watched my own grandmother disappear bit by bit from that disease, so for me, this isn't some abstract policy debate. It feels like an insult to every family who has been through that hell. He wants credit for solving a problem, but at the same time, his own administration proposes slashing billions from the very research that could find a cure. Congresswoman Nanette Barragán, she saw right through this nonsense and refused to let this hypocrite get away with it. She didn't let him hide behind platitudes. She zeroed in on the exact dollar amount of his proposed cuts, stripping away his political cover. Let's play the clip.
Assessment? Yes or no?
We are completely committed to solving the problem of Alzheimer's.
Do you agree that the NIH's research is critical to the development of Alzheimer's disease treatments?
I do. The issue is complicated.
Okay.
If you want a real answer to that question, I'm happy to give it.
I have limited time. So you said that you think it's critical, yet you are proposing to cut $1.7 billion from the NIH's National Institute on Aging, which is the primary federal agency that supports and conducts Alzheimer's and dementia research. That's a lot of money, Mr. Secretary, for you being committed to ending an epidemic like Alzheimer's and saying that you believe that NIH does critical work. That is a ton of money.
The issue is complicated. Did you hear that? That's like the first refuge of a cornered coward who knows he's been caught in a lie. No, Mr. Secretary, the issue isn't complicated at all. It's actually pretty simple. You can't claim to be committed to curing a disease when you are also, at the same time, gutting the funding for the people actually doing the work. This is more than just him being a hypocrite. This feels like it's about deep systemic corruption, and it got even worse when AOC stepped up to question him on the rampant fraud happening on his watch. It's the classic Republican playbook, right? You scream about waste, fraud, and abuse to justify slashing benefits for poor people while you're, shoveling public money to your corporate cronies. AOC was dead on going after him over the Medicare Advantage program, where private insurers systematically overbill the government by tens of billions. And she came prepared, with the specific numbers and the policy decision made by his own freaking agency. The best part was his reaction. He looked like a clueless, a deer in the headlights who had no idea what was happening in the department he supposedly runs. You have to see this. Here's what this clown said when he was confronted with the grift.
If we're making decisions around waste, fraud, and abuse, this is the largest source of waste, fraud, and abuse of public dollars in the public insurance space.
You say $80 million?
$80 billion a year.
Did you say 80 million or 80 billion?
80 with a B, billion.
With a B,
yeah. If that's the case, why did you nearly double the rate that taxpayer dollars give for-profit insurance companies like United next year if you don't know those things?
Double the rate. How did I do that?
So your agency nearly doubled the taxpayer dollars that for-profit insurance corporations like United will be paid next year.
How did I do that? I mean, come on, that's not a question. You know, that's a confession of gross incompetence. You are the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and you don't know that your own department is handing billions of extra dollars to insurance companies that are actively being investigated for fraud? You absolutely cannot make this stuff up. And as if the breathtaking corruption wasn't enough, we then got to the part of the hearing that, well, it revealed RFK Jr. as an out-and-out academic fraud. And this isn't just about being an incompetent buffoon. I think this is a deliberate, calculated deception at the highest levels of government, where he submitted a garbage report to justify his policies that was built on a foundation of pure fiction. In the world of actual science, you know, citing studies that don't exist gets you fired and blacklisted for life. But in this administration, it's just another Tuesday, I guess. Thank God for Congressman Raul Ruiz, who is also a doctor and who brought his actual expertise to the hearing room. He didn't just disagree with this creep. He methodically dismantled his tissue of lies and held him accountable for his blatant dishonesty. This is what happens when a real doctor confronts a professional liar. Let's play the clip.
Ms. Secretary Kennedy, you're listed as the chair of the commission. Did you read the report and fact-check its sources prior to publication?
All of the factual.
Did you read the reports and did you yourself fact-check them, sir?
I did not fact-check.
You did not fact-check. So why then, as has
all
been
of the
widely reported, excuse me, sir, I'm
that,
speaking. Why then did the report include a citation to sources that don't even exist? How does that happen under your leadership, sir?
All of the foundational assertions in that report are accurate.
They did not exist. How can they be accurate if they did not exist, sir?
Some of the citations
you know, in fact, my understanding is that even once the report was updated, more authors and researchers came forward stating that their research was misconstrued. This is quite unbelievable, sir. In fact, I was a pre-med at UCLA. They have a great pre-med program. If somebody turned this in as an undergrad to their professor at UCLA, they would have received an F, sir, an F for the misinterpretation, the falsehoods, the denials, and also citing references that don't even exist. That's lying and dishonest, sir. My concern here, is that you and this administration are undertaking vast changes to our federal public health system and using purported facts and gold standard evidence that you claim to have as justifications for your decisions, actions, and frankly, your decimation of our nation's public health infrastructure. Yet what you are relying upon isn't real. It isn't data-driven. And it isn't based in fact, science, or reality.
That pathetic defense, all of the foundational assertions in that report are accurate. How? I mean, just how can they be accurate if the sources you cite are literally imaginary? Congressman Ruiz was perfect, giving this gaslighter an F for being what he is, a liar and a fraud. And just when you think you've hit the bottom of the barrel with this authoritarian, this freak, he unveils a vision for the future that is somehow even more sinister. Remember for years how we heard from these MAGA psycho cultists about how Democrats wanted to chip and track them? Well, it seems it was all projection. Of course it was. Because now this same administration, led by the same charlatan, wants every single American to be wearing a trackable device within 4 years. Speaking of which, it's amazing how the Don't Tread on Me crowd goes silent when their own heroes like Elon Musk with his brain chips or Peter Thiel using Palantir to build a massive government database on all of USAR, the ones building the cage. It's a dystopian nightmare, isn't it? And they're the ones selling the tickets. He said the quiet part right out loud, just laying out the whole creepy vision for everyone to see. There was no hiding it, no political spin, just a straight up admission that they want to monitor the behavior of every American. Let's play the clip.
About their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. And we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
So there you have it. A day of gavel, banging clowns, cultist liars, and corrupt, fraudulent sociopaths who want a government tracker on your wrist while callously telling dying people to show me one life that matters. Forget calling it a political party. I mean, it feels like we're dealing with a criminal enterprise actively harming this country, and the only way to stop them is to stay angry, stay engaged, and keep fighting. Well, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you. Drop a comment, smash that like button. The YouTube algorithm gods will thank you. Share the video, hit the bell, and subscribe. All those little clicks motivate me to keep bringing you the latest updates. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next breaking news video.